How's everybody doing today? So today I would like to talk about synchronicities. It's related to serendipity in a sense that, so we have serendipity means you're attracting those wonderful things into your life, and the connection from your affirmations and your meditation, all that stuff. But the synchronicities is the connection points between those, the serendipitous energy and manifestations and all that stuff. And the synchronicities is something that you want to look for. This is those things that you want to actually observe happen, because you'll see the serendipity occur when you start doing your spiritual practices and spiritual journey. But you may not see how it's connected. But you'll start noticing patterns in how they are connected, because remember, there's no coincidences. So we're talking about how all these synchronicities are connected. And when you observe the synchronicities, the observance of them will actually create more connections. It's kind of weird like that, because I guess you're kind of like tapping into that, or tuning into that energy field. And when you start seeing the synchronicities, you know how things are connected. It may or may not be important to you to know how the things are connected. Maybe you're just like, Brandon, I'm not worried about how they're connected. I just want to manifest, positive things in my life. And that's totally understandable. But I find it really interesting, especially because I'm trying to teach all of you, what it is I know. Like, seeing the connections of the synchronicities definitely instills a solid foundation of this stuff works, and it works on such a commanding universal level that it's not there. Like, it basically shows like you'll have belief just because you'll see the connections. Like, it's hard to explain. It instills even more belief into you than you already have, which is a tremendous amount of belief in the universe and God. But now you're seeing how it's connected, so you're kind of observing how things come into play. So let's say one day someone, a family member, a friend calls you up and says, hey, that old classic car that's been sitting in my backyard that you've been talking about, and then you've been looking at it or whatever, come over and get it. Get off my hands. I'm not going to sell it to you. Just come over here and take it. And then you'd be like, wait, what? I thought you were going to sell it for like $6,000. He's like, no, don't worry about it. I can tell you love the car, and you've been wanting something like that as a project, and it's yours. Go ahead and have it. Something's going weird on with my light here. Sorry, like, I don't know what it's doing. You guys see that on the camera? Something's always going on when I'm trying to make a video. I don't know why. Let's see if that helps. In the future, this will be done in more of a studio setting, so I apologize if the light's all messed up. We got cloud cover coming in too. That might be part of the reason outside. Anyways, what was I saying? The connections of the synchronicity. So your friend will call you for to come over and get that old classic car, that 1960s Camaro that you've been drooling over every time you come over my house. Then the next day you land up meeting a classic car painter. The following day, saying he's running a special, a 50% off special, because it's a slow season to paint your classic car. So it's half off. Now, don't you think that would be a synchronistic event happening? It just so happens you got your free classic car, and the very next day you run into a guy who offers you a 50% discount on his phenomenal paint jobs that he does for $3,000 that look like dynamite. And he's gonna do it for $1,500 because he's a 50% off the season special, and you'll end up running into him. These are the synchronistic events that come into play. And I'm just giving you 2 examples. It could go further on than that from just the car alone, but there's more stuff that's happening than just the car. There's other stuff in your life that's being synchronistic too. But you'll see those connections. Like, this blows my mind. I just got the car yesterday, then I run into this guy, and then I run into that person, you know, and then I run into an old friend from school who happens to collect that same type of car, invites you into his car club. This is the manifestation what I'm talking about when it comes to synchronicities. And I'm just giving you the car example. It could be anything in your life that could be synchronistic. I was just using that as an example so you kind of like, so I can paint the picture of what I'm talking about here. So that'll go on and you'll see it more and more happening, and you'll just be like immune to it eventually and say, yep, there's another synchronicity of what I created. Yep, there it is again. It's uncanny, but it's becoming normal. It's becoming, your 3D reality is starting to go into the 5D reality at that point. When you're so aware of it, you can see the connections. And that's something you'll start seeing happen on your spiritual journey. And that's all I basically wanted to talk about today. There's some cool things happening in the future on my video, so stay tuned for that. I'm getting excited for it, and I hope you'll enjoy it. As always, I greatly appreciate you guys watching my video, and have a nice day.